Denver also making a switch. Thomas checked in for Jamal Murray. And talking about Millsap, he didn't start out this versatile. He worked on his game. We saw it year after year, and he's made it happen.
Yeah, he was a bit of a lump of clay who had great rebounding skills. Now he's kind of chiseled himself off into a terrific all-around player. Ball handler, shoots the three, excellent footwork, passes better. That's why it took him so long to play in his first All-Star game. But when he got to that first one, he actually got to a couple more, too.
The Nuggets leading by 10. Now here's Thomas. He had 27 points last game. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
What's up? And I like that they're not settling. Getting the ball on the interior, 8 of their last 10 coming that way.
Sometimes you just got to man up and take a tough foul in order to stop these free runs to the rim.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And Isaiah Thomas always line up at point guard, Clark, but it's a far cry to call him a traditional point guard.
Yeah, I would say that would be the case, Kevin. I agree with you. I mean, he is more score-centric than pass-centric. And that's fine. In this day and age, a lot of point guards are that way. He's an excellent passer, but when he has the ball, he's first looking to score it. He passes off his scoring ability. That's not always the easiest approach to integrate into an offense, but I'd rather have him than not in most cases. Boy, nice timing on these jumps. He's somewhat on the small side for a power forward, but he just never gives up.
Now, here's Bagley. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Portland.
And he also chipped in with a couple blocks in that game. Just a hint at the impact he had on the defensive side. And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shots now starting to fall.
Thomas against Young. Thomas kicks to Harris. The pass to Millsap. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Millsap's got 4 points this quarter.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Thomas against Young. Basket good.
He's done a nice job, a great job actually, of finding efficient shots here in the second. Shooting percentage always a function of the kinds of shots you get. And he's on a good roll after struggling a bit in the first.
Here's Hield. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Now here's Porter. He picked up 15 points in their last win against New York. Young against Thomas. And Young kicks to Hield. Caldwell Pope outside. Lock at 6. Here's Young. Millsap grabs the miss. Millsap's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Jokic trying to free himself up. And that one's good by Porter. Porter's got 7 points. Timeout called by the Kings. And Paul Millsap absolutely loves an unselfish style of play.
Well, he firmly believes that everything good starts with 5 guys willing to give up the basketball to get a better shot, going from good shot to better shot, and willing to get the open guy the ball. For Millsap, that's both fun to watch and fun to be part of.
And the Nuggets making a change here. Barton is checked in. Here's Bagley. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Yeah, they've raised their shooting percentage in this quarter, and they're starting to get on track.
And they're starting to heat up is what they're doing. They're on fire. I mean, that's what they need to climb back into this game. Well, you know, you don't get to flourish like IT does without being very creative. Always finds angles to get a shot up, even when defended well. You do what you have to do at his size to finish a drive, and he's one of the best small guys in the league in finishing.
2 shots.
That free throw good from Isaiah Thomas. And Isaiah Thomas, so great, Clark, at that floating shot over the help defender.
Well, at his size, you've got to have that in your bag. I mean, he just knows how to get that shot off and feel where it needs to be lifted from. Does the same thing with his passing out of traffic, and I think it's just his IQ and understanding. He's really one of the most exciting players in the league.
Now, here is Young. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Portland. Hield against Thomas. Hield the pass to Bagley. Young outside from the high post. And it's Jokic with the rebound. Jokic has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. Martin got a piece of it. Passes it to Caldwell Pope. Nice D from Porter.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That one is on Hield. And Michael Porter, he has the natural attributes of an elite scorer.
He's got incredibly deep range. You can see that all the way back in high school. Almost automatic from mid-range. And as he adds strength, he'll become a force inside as well.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good, Porter. And great with Michael Porter, combining the length, athleticism, and scoring ability. He's a rare prospect.
I mean, in high school, he was the #1 prospect on a lot of people's lists. Had the back injury in his only year of college, but everyone knew what he could do when given the chance.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Marjanovic comes in for Harry Giles, and it's Bogdanovich in for Caldwell Pope.
And the ceiling so high for Porter. A versatile, effective forward who does so many things well.
Now, here is Young. 8 points for him. And Bogdanovich kicks to Marjanovic. Hield with it. Now guarded by Barton. Hield with the bucket. Hield's got 6 points.
Easy little jumper for him right there, guys.
The Nuggets leading by 13. Porter with it. 9 points in the game so far. Pass to Barton. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. Barton's got his second basket of the game.
And, you know, Barton's length is what really helps him score inside.
Hield kicks to Marjanovic. Now the dish to Young. Feeds it to Bagley. In the corner, it's Hield. Sacramento with a fresh shot clock.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Well, guys, they need to do something to reduce this deficit. We'll see if that's the answer.
Here's Young. Michael Porter making his last shot. Outside, Bogdanovich. Knocked away and out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession. Terrific awareness among this collection of centers and power forwards. The big men averaging the most assists per contest over the previous 10 games. Nikola Jokic, #1.
I don't care what level you're at, high school, college, or pros. When you have the combination of size and passing skill that he does, it gives your team a huge advantage.
Most certainly does. I mean, anytime you get a big guy who can pass it, I mean, it forces strange rotations for the defense. And he's thrown plenty of opposing defenses into chaos with his passing.
And such a sharpshooter from outside the arc. Porter just superb at knowing when to fire from deep. Well, he wanted to return the favor there for that last 3, but it just wasn't in the cards.
That shot is off. Now Sacramento takes it the other way. Young against Thomas. Now here is Young. He's guarded closely. Bagley with the bucket. Bagley's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And how about the persistence on the backboard? Love how hard Bagley works on the offensive glass. Wants to outwork everybody.
Now, here's Thomas. He's got 15. It's Barton on the wing, covered by Heel. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Barton.
You know, that's not how you distribute the ball. It needs to be more focused when making passes like that.
And the Nuggets with some changes. Mejri comes in for Jokic. And Barea subbed in for Porter. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Young against Thomas. Young outside. Barea against Hield. Shoots over Barea. Hield can't hit. Here's Barton. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
You know, Barton is a sinewy, mobile guard. I mean, he's tough to defend without fouling because of how slick and slippery he is.
The Nuggets have been a perfect 8 of 8 at the line.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Barton.
Yeah, I've got mad respect for the way Barton carries himself. I mean, he's a terrific teammate. He does everything he can to impact winning.
Both free throws good from Barton. And so it's Denver closing out the quarter with a 20-point lead. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, guys. Here with Coach Mike Malone. How has ball movement opened up things for you offensively?
Every game we have where we get into a one-on-one game, over-dribbling, not passing, we become very easy to guard. The good thing about tonight is the ball is moving. We're trying to make plays for each other. When we move the ball, we get high percentage shots, which is all we can ask for.
Thanks very much for your time, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the Halftime Show on 2K Sports. It was Isaiah Thomas who got hot in the first. He ended up with 15 points and 4 assists. Kenny, your thoughts on the Nuggets' first half?
Well, just the entertainment value that Isaiah Thomas provides. He tortured defenders in the first half. Off the dribble, no one could stop him or stay in front of him. And now with that consistent long-range jump shot, if you back off him, what are you supposed to do?
Shaq, how do you think Sacramento played?
Well, the bottom line, they got to defend the three-point line much better. They were concentrating all their effort into protecting the paint, and these guys were standing behind the line, yakam, splaka kataya, and that strategy backfired, Ernie. They gave up far too many open looks, and all those threes killed them.
And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is coming your way.
A nighttime glimpse of the Tower Bridge, one of the landmarks here in Sacramento. Welcome back, everyone, to the Capitol. And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. We're seeing a tremendous game from Isaiah Thomas.
And through the first 2 periods, it seemed he got to the paint whenever he wanted to. Just a slasher's mentality.
Yeah, you know, good things happen when he cuts to the rim, Greg, and you cut into the heart of the defense like that, makes things easy.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Second half underway. Here's who Mike Malone's got on the floor. Inside, it's the talented pair of Millsap and Jokic. The guards are Thomas and Harris, and it's Porter at the small forward position. Clock at 4. It's Thomas outside. The shot misses. Now Sacramento takes it the other way. Hield against Harris. Hield kicks to Bogdanovich. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Porter. And Bogdan Bogdanovich, Greg, a highly decorated player internationally. Multiple silver medals with the Serbian national team, a EuroLeague champion back in 2017.
Yeah, I mean, he's a talented player, very skilled, and at 6'6" can play either guard spot. Great shooter. I think he's one to watch.
And the first one drops. That misses, so he splits the free throws. And so it's Porter bringing it up now for Denver. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Porter against Bogdanovich. It's Young on the wing. Back to Bogdanovich. Kicks to Hield. From deep. But they get it back. Here's Marjanovic. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him. Marjanovic has got 7.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Well, the defensive rotations, Greg, have been a step slow, and it's really helped them get that ball inside time after time.
Now, here's Thomas. He's got 15. Yep, it counts. That's now 8 points for Jokic.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Here's Hield. He has 6. He kicks it to Young. Bagley the pass to Young. Hands it from downtown.
You have to guard Young tight. You got to know he's thinking of shooting as soon as the ball hits his hand.
Now Thomas. He's been a factor in their offense on most nights with his scoring average at nearly 16 points a game. Double team on Thomas. And Jokic wide open. He shoots. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Porter against Bogdanovich. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. And it's Bagley in the corner. And again, it's Sacramento converting.
Their second half has started quite well. They've been good on 3 of their first 4 attempts.
The Nuggets leading by 14. Harris kicks to Millsap. Thomas up top. Over Young. Off the left rim and out.
Yeah, the offense scuffling a bit to start this second half. Only 1 for the first 5.
And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen. Here's a look at what's coming up now for the Sacramento Kings. They'll take on Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Then on Monday, they'll defend home court against the Orlando Magic. Nuggets have gone only 1 of 5 from the field since halftime. A very slow start offensively. Harris finds Millsap. Jokic against Marjanovic. Outside Thomas. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
A moment here to check out some of the stats for Hield. He's averaging 15 points a game, 4 assists and 4 rebounds. And you know, pretty terrific numbers across the board.
Yeah, so many books in his library. He lights up the scoreboard on a nightly basis.
And he makes the first.
You know, you've got to have mad respect for Isaiah. I mean, his NBA journey has been remarkable, really, from the very last pick in the 2011 draft. That's a huge rise.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. With social media providing instantaneous news, Clark, players have to really watch what they say now. I mean, before they hit the send button.
Yeah, you got to pause before you peck, and you got to pause before you post. That's one of the things I would tell.
Well said.
That's what I would tell guys when I was talking about this landscape that they're in. Heavily scrutinized, and to the NBA players' credit, they've done a great job with social media. They're very visible. They're very accessible. They're well connected to the community through their platforms, but you do have to exercise some caution in how you go about your social media profile.
Let's check out the Western Conference standings right now that we're here in the new year. You look at the Nuggets. Right now, they've compiled the 6th best record in the conference. And checking out Sacramento, right now, quite a ways down below.
And checking out Sacramento, there were fears they'd be one of the NBA's doormats this season. Those fears have turned out to be well-founded.
And, you know, I don't think they need to wait for the offseason to start making some changes. I think they can start the rebuilding process right now.
Bagley lays it up and banks it in. Bagley's got 8 points.
And at this stage, this is where Bagley feels most comfortable. I mean, knows he has the size and touch to score inside.
Now, here's Millsap. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, no let up. The killer instinct on display, trying to put this team away. I love the tenacity.
Young against Thomas. Back to Marjanovic. Shoots from 12. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. And it's Millsap with the ball for the Denver Nuggets. They led the game at 1 point by 20. Got that bucket in no time at all. 16 points for Michael Porter.
A pure shooter who's also efficient. Porter nearly automatic from mid-range.
Thomas against Young. Hield outside. And he hits the jump shot. 8 points for him. The Nuggets leading by 16. It's stolen by Bagley. And it's sent back by Millsap.
Pretty cool to see Millsap turn shots back. I mean, he's a mobile, athletic, big man who is taking pride in his defensive work.
Now here's Hield, following the miss by Michael Porter. Young passes to Bagley. Count it. Bagley's got 6 here in this quarter.
Just a positive force right now for these guys. And though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
Now here is Harris. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game.
Well, it's just been one of those kind of games for him.
Here's Young. Good defense by Jokic. For Denver, they've gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. Here's Porter. Harris looking it over. Back to Porter. Basket is good. The assist from Harris. Harris has got 3 assists in the game. Young against Thomas. Sacramento moving it around. Young with the ball. Thomas is on him. Shots good from Young.
An effective multi-dimensional scorer. Young is incredible at turning on the Jets when he's feeling it.
Thomas kicks to Millsap. And Millsap stamps it in.
And haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it.
And if it doesn't, this is only going to get uglier. I mean, that's no way to defend a player of his caliber.
Count it, good.
An unselfish guy who enjoys setting his guys up. Bagley has impressive vision for a big fella.
And Denver decides to take their first time out here.
Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit. Nothing
wrong with that. You got to be flexible. When something isn't working, you adjust, you modify, you go to something else. That's what the best coaches do.
Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for the Kings. Giles comes in for Bagley. Pass to Barton. Murray left side. There's the pass to Mejri. Back to Murray. Clock at 6. And there's the foul. It's on Dwayne Dedmon. That is his first foul of the game. A big group substitution here for Sacramento. Bagley, he's checked in for Dwayne Dedmon. Caldwell Pope comes in for Bogdan Bogdanovic. Allen's checked in for Hield. And Farrell subbed in for Young. Here's Barton. 6 points for him. From 15 feet away, and it's Sacramento with the rebound. And the Kings pushing it up now. Here's Allen. Here's Giles, and he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Giles has got 6.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
And here is Wiles. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. 6 to shoot. It's stolen by Bagley. Allen against Murray. Allen passes to Farrell. Here's Bagley. And he drops in the layup off the glass. 12 points for him.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Now here's Barea. T right on him. Fires the 3. Shot's good by Wiles.
Boy, that's a really nice feed by J.J. Barea.
The Kings trail by 13. Here's Farrell. Passes to Bagley.
And that's the thing about Bagley. Big, athletic, versatile. Very hard to stop without fouling.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Nuggets.
Well, it's been an outstanding game for them in the open court. Their fast break points really stand out.
Yeah, and another thing, they've created a lot of turnovers, but they've also been able to convert when they've got down in transition.
And he knocks down the first one.
And the game Bagley has reminds me a little bit of Chris Bosh, a sweet lefty who plays with force and passion.
That one is no good. And so it's Barton bringing it up for the Nuggets. They led the game at 1 point by 20. From deep, Barea, and again Denver with the triple.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
And, you know, these second-round picks that sometimes emerge as outstanding players, Will Barton, a case in point. As a matter of fact, he can give you the handbook for being an outstanding second-round pick because he's really pretty good at just about everything you need to do on the basketball court.
Here's Farrell. Sweet little floater. Farrell's got 6 points.
Looking very comfortable close to the basket. I mean, it's important that Farrell keeps finding ways to capitalize from there.
Now, here's Lyons. And talking about Barton, you look at the body type, the game that he plays, Clark, well built for the modern era of pro basketball.
Yeah, especially since he's added some strength, Kevin. He can guard 1 through 3. You can't push him around as much as you once could. And, of course, even with the defense present, these are shots you have to finish.
Here's Farrell. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Farrell's got 4 points this quarter.
And at only 6 feet tall, Farrell has gumption, not afraid to take it in amongst the trees.
Barea kicks to Lyles. Barton outside. Murray against Allen. Murray, the pass to Measury. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Giles has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Here's Caldwell Pope. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And now we bring you the rookie leaderboard, featuring the NBA first-year players who have been dominant on the glass for the past 10 games and counting. The 4th spot held by Marvin Bagley.
He is showing a willingness to get in there and get physical. I mean, the coaches have to be pleased with his tenacity in the interior.
My kind of guy, Greg. Powerful, courageous, unflappable. This kid's a monster on the boards, and he only seems to be improving every time out.
He's off on the first. He hits the second from the line. Denver leading by 10. Barea with it. 11 points in the game. Lyles with a wide open look. It's good. Great play set up by Barea. Lyles got 2 now from beyond the arc in the 3rd for the Nuggets. Farrell kicks to Giles. Pass to Caldwell Pope. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Now Barea. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game. Clock at 6. Down low. Here's Measuring. Lays it up off the glass.
Boy, I like seeing the ball get to that spot. It doesn't get much better than that.
The Kings trail by 15. There's 47 seconds left to play here in the 3rd. Here's Farrell, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the foul against Denver.
Boy, impressive quickness there for Farrell, and he's a smart player, too. Keeping pace with him, a challenge.
These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And take a look at what he's been able to do at the free throw line. 82% more than acceptable.
And, guys, that's an increase in his free throw percentage.
2 shots.
From last year. Maybe not a large one, but it is a little bit higher, so you've got to like that progress.
First one falls for him.
You know, one of the things you have to do is know yourself, and Yogi Ferrell really knows his game. He's a shoot-first point guard who wants to keep getting better in that position.
And he makes both free throws. 41 seconds left to play in the 3rd. Murray outside. Outside for Barea. That 3 off the mark.
Boy, awful defending, really. But in the end, they dodged a bullet. They can't let shooters get clean looks from outside.
And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. Here's Giles. He's got 6. Caldwell Pope kicks to Farrell. Yep, that one goes. Farrell's got 12.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Here's Jokic. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul called on the Sacramento Kings.
Well, I love how crafty Jokic is. You know, he basically baits defenders into committing the foul once he gets deep position.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And he's at nearly 90% from the free throw line this season, so having a terrific year.
And, you know, with those numbers, he makes a defender hesitant to get too tight on him. I mean, he doesn't want to get whistled for the foul and put this guy on the line.
free throw, good. Jokic.
You know, one of the things I like about Jokic's game is that he's a great passer for a center, and in many ways his game reminds me of Vlade Divac's.
Both shots good from the stripe.
To finish off the quarter. How'd he get that one to go?
I don't know, but I think that's a 2% shot. He'd make 2 out of 100 of those if you gave them to him.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Nuggets lead by 10. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
This is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. Dwayne Dedmon is out there with Giles. Then there's Allen. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Farrell in at the 1. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. And here we go. Murray heading to the hoop. And it's Murray with the jam.
With the long arms that Barton has, he's an exceptional defender, and I think he does a nice job picking and choosing his spots to take chances.
Here's Farrell. Caldwell-Pope outside. Here's the floater, and he lays it up and in.
Confidence oozing out of Caldwell-Pope. Loves going to his floater from time to time, too.
Allen against Murray. Pass to Barea. Barton in the corner. Just 5 to shoot. And he overshot that one, missing. The Kings trail by 10. Farrell passes to Caldwell-Pope. Shoots over Barton, and again it's Sacramento converting.
You got to give respect to Caldwell-Pope's mid-range jump shot. He's got the green light to take this shot, and that green light is always on.
Denver calls timeout.
Yeah, just hitting the reset button, a chance to kind of talk some things over.
Yeah, recalibration time with the timeout call there.
Paul Millsap's checked in for the Nuggets. Harris comes in for J.J. Barea. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Hey, guys, when Mike Malone talked to his team during that last timeout, he still wants them to be aggressive and assertive on offense. He said, I don't want us to get content with this lead. Build on it. Don't give them any chance of getting back in this thing. Evan?
Now here's Barton. Millsap. And another miss by Denver. Farrell looking around. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. To the inside. The shot will not fall. Good work defensively by Millsap. And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for Denver. They led the game at 1 point by 20. And there's the pass to Jokic. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got 5 assists in the game.
You know, each season, Jokic seems to improve his outside jumper, which means the defense has to respect his range.
Allen for 3. It's rebounded by Paul Millsap. Denver leading by 11. Harris outside. For 3, buries the long-range jumper. And the Nuggets lead by 14.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far.
Now here's Allen. And the call will be against Harris. That's his first foul. A different look for Denver. Porter's checked in for Will Barton. And Thomas subbed in for Jamal Murray. Here's Farrell. He's guarded by Thomas. With Samart. And it's sent back by Millsap. Harris against Allen. Harris outside. Passes it to Thomas. Shot clock at 6. From deep. Makes that one his 6th of the night. Shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force on this run.
Giles kicks to Caldwell Pope. Sacramento moving it around.
And hard to decide which is better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Oh, there's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop.
Tell you what, you wouldn't know they're the team trailing when they're able to pull off plays like that.
Porter dishes to Millsap. Outside Porter. And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Kings. Near the three-point line, it's Thomas, and again it's Denver.
Well, a common thread throughout the evening, IT's ability to get his shot, and he's converting at a high rate.
Young against Thomas. And here's Young. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Goes back up, and it's sent back by Jokic.
Outstanding timing from Jokic there. Then the superb reach to wipe away the shot.
On its way from Young for 2. Tough break there, shot after shot. They couldn't get anything to fall. To the inside, Millsap. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic. 8 points for Millsap.
Guys, he has been a major factor, big time, outstanding at getting quality looks and knocking them down.
Hield finds Bogdanovic. Thomas against Young. Over Thomas. Nice follow through on the fadeaway. 15 points for Trae Young.
And just proving once again how reliable he is from there. Young is a fantastic scorer with just an impressive arsenal.
Here's Thomas. Count that one.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
No doubt about it, Greg. I mean, the game comes so naturally to him, easily. I mean, helping to expand their lead as they try to close this one out. He's doing it.
Here's Bagley. Isaiah Thomas making his last shot. And Young, here we go. Poke loose. And oh, here we go with Thomas. Nobody back. And yes, it's good. Thomas got 11 in the second half.
You know, for Isaiah, the cat-like quickness and reactions, getting the steal, which leads to the transition.
Bagley kicks to Marjanovic. Thomas against Young. Pass to Millsap. Thomas trying to break loose, and that one's good. Millsap.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Now here's Hield, and Michael Porter is going to pick up the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Clark, we know of your involvement with college basketball, calling the Final Four. College teams occasionally change conferences here in the NBA. There's talk of eliminating conferences altogether.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a bit of a traditionalist here. I'm open to change, but I think there would need to be more rationale behind the change than what I've heard or read. So I think keeping it the way it is fine. So that tradition aspect of it is what I'm hanging my hat on. Anytime you try to manipulate matchups, though, to me, is walking down the wrong road. So, in my opinion, we should stay with the conferences for now.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Here's Denver now. They're on a 19-6 run. Here's Jokic. Shoots over Marjanovic, and again it's Denver.
Boy, it's a joy to see Jokic get the hot hand. A very efficient, multi-talented scorer. Knows how to dial it up a notch when he needs to.
Now, here is Young over Thomas. They get the rebound, and that one's good. Marjanovic.
And all those second chance points have given them a boost here in the second half, and that's a great way to cut into the lead.
Thomas surveying the D. Pass to Jokic. On the wing, Porter. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Yeah, they've not missed a single foul shot this half, and that's taking care of business, fellas.
Two shots. Last on the first.
And the first one at the line is good. Teams of the past would often pound the offensive glass, Clark. I think of the '84 Celtics, but now teams are running only one, maybe 2 guys to the offensive boards.
I think a big part of it is transition defense is so important that teams now don't send as many people to the offensive glass. But the flip side of that is if you get offensive rebounds, you get opportunities to score, and you can thwart transition chances. So I tilt towards trying to get to the offensive glass as long as you've got a couple of guys that are really good at it.
Shots good from Young.
The most lethal part of Young's game, his outside shot is often on the money.
Thomas kicks to Porter. Over Bogdanovic. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
Two shots.
The first free throw is good. And good on the second, so he makes them both. And here's Young. He'll bring it up for the Sacramento Kings. Outside Bogdanovic. Now the pass to Marjanovic. Young against Thomas. Shots good from Young.
Now this is more like it. 9 points for him from 3-point range this half. That's 9 more than he had in the first.
Now here's Thomas. Double team on Thomas. Passes it to Jokic. It's stolen by Hield. It's Young on the wing. He's guarded by Thomas. Jokic with the steal. Here's Thomas. To the middle. Jokic, no good. The Kings trail by 19. On the wing, Hield. Guarded by Harris. Hield against Harris. Offensive rebound. They kick out to Hield. Goes up again, and they call the foul. So he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
And how about the strength on display there? Even when you whack Bagley, he's outstanding at fighting through it.
Shooting just one.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Here's Thomas. The Nuggets keep it going. A new 24-second shot clock. Here's Millsap. Score the basket. It's number 6 for him this game. 6 for 9, 67% shooting.
And, you know, even though he's undersized, Millsap doesn't back down. He's good at outworking everybody on the glass.
Now here's Hield. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. Six to shoot. Puts one up from 19. Kicks it to Hield. Fires from deep. Again, Hield missing.
Not a bad look for him on that shot, but it just doesn't seem to be his night tonight.
Thomas passes to Millsap. Outside, Porter. Harris outside. It's up a three. Knocks down the three ball. Harris has got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for the Nuggets.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Nuggets.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
And with a solid strategy, building on that first win in the season series, they rack up another W to make it 2-0 with just one left this year against the Kings.
And something we've come to almost expect is greatness from this guy. Such an overall great performance it was for Jokic.
He was really important under the basket, making the plays down low and getting position to pull in rebounds.
Big group substitution here for Denver. Measury, he's checked in for Jokic. Lyle comes in for Paul Millsap. Torrey Craig, he's checked in for Porter. And Barea subbed in for Thomas. That's also good. So he hits both free throws. Average value of an NBA team, Clark, over $1 billion. And I can't even believe I'm saying that, but the league wasn't always so healthy and always thriving the way it is now.
Yeah, every business goes through periods of prosperity and challenge. The league, NBA, no different. Early 80s, there were real struggles and challenges. Then there was a real bump as we got into the late 80s and into the 90s, plateaued a bit, and now we're on a great ascension. But the players and the league have really worked well together to bring the league to a greater level of popularity and success in this time period now. And you can't discount the big money from TV contracts. That fuels the fire quite a bit as well.
Here's Marjanovic. Score the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7. Smooth sailing for Denver. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Harris kicks to Craig. Pass to Wiles. On the wing, Harris. Let's go. Hits the front of the rim and out. Young outside. So it's the Nuggets winning this one easily. A resounding victory for them. And Gregg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Paul. It looked like the game was getting away from you. So how big is it that you were able to come back?
We got to do a better job of executing down the stretch. As simple as that. We're just glad we got this win. We just can't let these things happen in the future.
I know you're going to keep working on it. Thanks again, Paul. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. Great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. And we'll see you next time.